Hey YouTube, it's Geyser. What's up? I'm going to today do a profile on my Luard build. Now that the new set is out. First, before I start, I wanted to give a shout out and congratulations to Josh, who won the regional last weekend with his Luard deck. He's a pretty cool, nice guy. He's interviewed me before for one of his videos. He's a cool guy. He deserved to get a win there. He's a good player and he works really hard at the game. So, to get started into my profile now, I've messed around with the starter lineup. Pretty much tried like every option, and right now the one I like the most is Nessa. To speak about the others, Root, Conrad, and David. David seems like really cool, but when I've played around with him, I never use him. He just is wasted. He seems really good in concept because you can put him back and you could call him out with your cards you call grade zeros and stuff. I just was not using him. Well, it was cool to have the option. I'm like, well, if I'm not using this, I might as well just take it out for something I'm actually going to use. And Conrad seemed really good too. There's the lack of he's only a 4K, but he seemed like a good idea because he would make soul without counterblasting and help me be more consistent early game and stuff. But he also isn't really doing that much either. He can get +5 if you have a face-up G unit out, but you can't usually use that till your second stride actually. So ended up not liking him that much. And Root, he's a counterblast, which I don't like, and although he moves the soul, gives somebody +5. That +5 isn't really that good. It's a one-time thing. The reason we're playing Nessa though is because in this deck with when I get to the other lineup, you can make pretty easily your rear guard columns be 17s, and if you give both of those columns +4 each, now those columns are both 21. So she helps, and the Vanguard really doesn't need a booster, so I don't care about her being rested. So this deck, while good and managing its resources really well and stuff, and can make strong Vanguard pushes, it can't push that hard with the rear guards. It can't do multi attacks and stuff like other clans. So being able to make your columns big all the time helps make up for that. So now for our grade zeros. For Belial Owl, this card's amazingly good, really, really, really good. And then we've got 6 other crits for a total of 10. Yeah, this deck pushes hard with its crits and stuff from the Vanguards. Throwing down more makes it more threatening. That you push harder early game without having to do as much if you're tracking crits. 10 crits is a lot of crits. But other than the crits, I'm playing 2 Howl Owls, 2 just because you can call it out, and you're not going to. This deck does quite a bit of drawing from the other Owl crit, and you don't want to draw into a draw, but I like having the option of tutoring this card out and using it to soul charge and power up a column, so playing 2. And then last, we obviously have our 4 heal triggers. For our grade 1s, we've got for Esra, I've underestimated this card in the past. I used to think the counter charge from Karma Collector was better. I was wrong. She's just so good, and this card's amazing. They always have perfect cards. For a Bissell Owl, because he's our counter charge engine, which we really need, and he helps you search out for Luard early game to make sure you have one. Then I play 3 Stride Fodder. As I said in the first time I made a Luard profile, you have to get at least 1 stride off before you get to Ritual. So that's why I like playing her. That, and she's a 1, so when you pitch her to it, and once you get your deck running, it really doesn't matter that she's a vanilla at that point, because the advantage the deck is running off of its engine makes up for it. So then I play 1 Sword Breaker, because you don't need more than 1. You don't even have to use her every game. Her cost is high for this deck, even though it's not that high of a cost. But and then last, I play 2 Decipher Prohibited Books. I don't like running 1 because I love this card a lot, and I hate if I ever damage check it. It's like I think it's like my favorite grade 1 in the deck. So I like using her to get my owls and stuff like that. And I play 2 because I don't want to damage check 1 and lose it. For my grade 2s, I play 4 Rugos because I think he looks cool, and then I also play 4 Castles because I think he looks cool. I can play like any vanillas, but this deck utilizes vanilla 10k vanillas much better than like any other deck can. The only other deck I think that can right now is like Chrono Jet, but this deck does it better. And as I said with regards to the starter, you put like a 7 behind these guys and then use the starter, and now that 17 column is at 21. So if you're gonna make like 2 17s, like 2 10ks and 2 7ks, and then use the starter and become 21s. There's a lot to say about how good vanillas are in this deck. You can be a wall of a Vanguard turn 2, and you can almost stay on the 10k without having to ready grade 3 to make sure you get the first stride, but because your Vanguard's such a wall, it's hard for them to like beat you up over it. And then last, we got more Fesses, because she's a beat stick. I don't know why I went through that so quick. She's a beat stick. She has on hit skill, but it's not that important. Then we've got our 4 Luards, because this is a Luard deck. This card is really good. It took the best, the way I look at it, it took the best aspects of Blaster Diablo with the free stride, pretty much, and then the best things out of Vortimir with the set card Call 2, and combined them into 1 card. He's just really good. And then I play 1 of the Serial Blade. He's just a tech card, and the fact he's a tech card kind of makes him better. Your opponent doesn't know when to expect him, and if you stride into a Phantom Blaster and then throw him down, now you caught them off guard and they won't be able to protect against your attack. And I like him more than the Dragon, because the Dragon counterblasts and this guy doesn't. And then my last grade 3, I play 2 Fodder. Only 2 because I find she can be pretty excessive sometimes. That, and you don't want to ride her because she's a 9k. Not that you want to ride anything other than the Luard, but for the G Zone, 3 Aura Geyser and 1 Doomed. I don't like playing more of that. I feel like it's a little unnecessary, and I need room for other things. But Aura Geyser is usually my first and second stride. Another good card, for stride. Sometimes it's Carnivore Dragon. Pop your owl, pop 2 of their cards, draw a card. Don't use Counterblast. Good card. Really good against decks like Messiah's early game. Next, for Phantom Blaster Diablo. We already all know why this card's good. This is one of the most infinite strides in the game. One Spectral, only one because the Soul Blast cost is kind of high and the Counterblast 2 cost is kind of high. And usually he's like a finisher anyways, so just the one. And next, I've got 2 Luards. Some people say you shouldn't because he's not a good card, and they're right. He really isn't a good card, but I run 2 of them just for situations where my board gets wiped, and I won't be able to pay the cost to stride the retire one, call 2. So I can stride him first, Soul Blast, call a guy, then retire it, call 2 more. That's why I play him. He's just a backup for shitty situations like that. So then my last G unit is 1 Series. Some people don't like it in this deck, and I can understand because the Counterblast 2 is really high, but I feel like you can take advantage of it in certain situations and stuff and like push hard, so that's why I'm playing it. And then my last card is 3 Plot Makers because it's a really big shield. You don't really need other G Guardians if you have access to this guy because he's just so big. Yeah, so that is it for this. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.